Hello and welcome back to the Great Unexplained debate. We are talking about fake psychics. I've just been talking about a guy, Paul Williams, who was on the television this week, talking about his deception and the way he took a lot of money off of some poor, elderly, vulnerable people, and how disgusting I think it is. More disgusting, I think he only served 4 months, which is a little bit topical, but it puts into perspective. You take Ronnie Biggs. You know, you've got a man there who stole some money from from the government, from the Royal Mail, and yet he wants 30 years. And you've got a man here who stole a lot of money. In comparison, these people can't afford this money, where the government probably could have done, or the Royal Mail certainly could have done. He gets 30 years, and this guy gets 18 months, and he's out in 4. And it kind of shows that. I mean, who would you rather be next to you? Living next to your house, Ronnie Biggs or Paul Williams?
Yeah, it just goes to show. It goes to show, doesn't it, in all those years, how much again, slightly off topic, but how much the justice system's changed.
Yeah, absolutely. It really I mean, this guy. I mean, he said he's not going to do any more. He's not doing psychic readings anymore. But that's because he didn't have any psychic abilities in the first place, in my opinion. But this is the type of. I mean, this is the dregs. This is the dregs of the barrel. But we're talking of amounts of money here. We're talking of people having their life savings robbed from them and all of that, which is kind of emotive in itself. But is it not? It's a similar thing when people are just taking 20 quid off if you're giving you a fake reading in a stage show.
When you boil it down to its simplest terms, it is, isn't it? It's
still fraud. It's still deception.
Yeah.
How do we stop it?
And there's still a lot of emotional damage involved, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, a lot of the psychics I've worked with have actually made me, desperate in this attempt to stop them doing it to other people. Because I've been in that point where I've been given readings that have been wrong, and yet when people are telling me, or asking me what the hell the reading went, I'll make it up. I fill in the gaps myself because I don't want to be duped. I don't want to be seen to have been duped by a psychic. Yeah. And then you stop and you go, hold up, no, that wasn't what they said. What they actually said was this, which means nothing whatsoever. Yeah. How do we stop it? How do we stop it? I mean, we've kind of worked out we can't get we wouldn't agree on a board. No. But how can that be stopped?
It's very difficult, isn't it? Unless you kind of outlaw it totally and make it an offence to practice medium.
The only way to do it
is
as you know, I'm in the nightclub business as well. What happened about 10 years ago, I think it was, they banned hypnotism on stage.
Yeah.
And you had to get a license from each local council, granted a license to a venue to hold hypnotism shows. And most of them won't grant it. I couldn't get one.
So you can still do hypnist shows? I didn't think you could.
No, yeah, if you can get a license, but you have to get it from the council, and it's very hard to get.
But this is the other thing. You'll know more about this. About if we're calling, or if psychics are calling their stage shows entertainment, which is they're saying it's an entertainment show, which is the Fraudulent Mediums Act and all that. Well, don't they need an entertainment license?
Not if the venue's got it, no.
I suppose theatres would have that.
Yeah. The thing is, if
what about personal readings?
I don't think. Oh yeah. I mean, if they were to advertise this is for entertainment only, personal readings or stage shows, why do people go?
Yeah, it's because they still. I mean, this guy here, this Paul Williams. I want to get off it because it actually even talking about it makes me want to have a shower. But even some of the people that he did all this to, they still believe he's psychic.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
the thing. You've got to
right.
get past the fans as well, because obviously there's well-known mediums out there that we know are fake, that have been proven to be fake, and yet you've got everybody
Still
out there that are just such a big fan base that
still the believers
that are backing them up anyway.
I mean,
so you've got to get past that as well.
But you go back to and I'm not literally going after just any old people. I mean, this guy deserves it. I think of what he's done, he should be hounded by everyone until he's paid the money back. He never paid any of this money back. These people never got their money back.
Yeah, because most of the time they either can't afford to take it on a personal kind of prosecution basis to try and get any money back.
And he lived in a huge house.
Well,
a huge house by a lock.
Yeah, or he served his time and then that's it.
Yeah, and I think it's disgusting. But you've got to go back to again. This is from a report in Psychic News, and it's revolving around a medium, shock sitters witnessed physical medium Lincoln standing in the middle of a room holding a spirit trumpet. And it's a fairly famous thing. Now, I'm going to just cut this down. This is actually a report from the Psychic News, where they've reported that that Colin Fry, working under the pseudonym of Lincoln, was in some sort of sitting circle. It was in 1993. It was in the Psychic News between November 1992 and April 1993, where the trumpet incident occurred, where apparently somebody either turned some lights on or turned their torches on when a trumpet was floating around a room, where Lincoln was supposed to be tied to a chair, was seen standing there. It says here, one of the people said, the singing light came on, said Mrs. Allen, suddenly flooding the room with light. And there was Lincoln standing in front of me, she stated. He was holding a trumpet in the air with his own hand. Now, that's somebody who's gone on, he's still practicing, he's still on the television, he's doing it now. I'm not, this isn't to have a go at one person, it's not that at all, I'm talking about a specific incident. But, is it our duty, should we forgive if someone does something wrong? I mean, okay, there's lots of things there. That one of the explanations for this is it was the spirits that made him do it.
Right.
Which again, I think is complete, in my opinion, absolutely ludicrous.
Perhaps it was a unique way of blowing his own trumpet. You never know.
Oh, I think he's been doing that ever since. But this, you know, I mean, there's even stuff here about they analysed the straps that were cut, and you know, it actually says, just again, I'm kind of just editing this right down. It said, Lincoln's bonds analysed at a cost of £200, but results say little. I mean, you know.
So his bonds were cut from. Was he strapped to a chair? You say?
They were cut, yeah.
And they were cut.
They were cut, yeah. I mean, we all know how we can do it. And I'm not saying he did cut them. There's a possibility, although I don't believe it, that it could be a spiritual source. And this isn't about to go at him. That's all done and in the past, and it'll always be with him. So that's kind of what you pay for, that sort of thing. But should we? If someone does something wrong once, should we go, you know what, if you own up to it and say, look, I'm under pressure, I've done this, I've done that, and let them carry on? Or when they're found to be fraudulent once, should they not be allowed to practice?
Yeah, not be allowed to practice.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, if you've been caught out once, you're always, those people that are watching or involved or have been taken in, you're always going to have the thought in the back of your mind that he's going to do it again. And
I have to say, I mean, there's absolutely no evidence at all, certainly with Colin, that he's done anything like that since.
No, but in generalisation.
But I think that I mean, in my opinion, I feel so strongly about it. I think, you know, to be a murderer, you only have to murder one person. To be a burglar, you only have to rob one house. To be a car thief, you only have to steal one car.
You haven't got a parole period, have you?
To be a fraudulent medium, do you only have to be fraudulent once? Yeah. It's a question.
But he did that under a different name, so probably a lot of people don't even realise it's him, do they?
Yeah, well, it's on the internet. I mean, it's it's.
But I mean, the audience that go and see.
No, they probably don't.
They probably don't even know.
And like I say, it's old news, and I don't want to sort of go on it. It's not about him. It's about the situation that someone can actually have be in a psychic circle. And do something, but how much is that going on around the country? How long is that constantly going on now? Well, we're sitting here, somewhere in another country of the world, where you've got people coming in and paying great deals of money for these people, and you see something floating. I mean, we all would. That's our holy grail of what we're looking for, is to be around a seance table and something comes floating across the table. You go, wow! Imagine something turns the light on. You've got the psychic who's supposed to be tied to a chair going. Okay. Anyway, we've got to finish this now. Sorry, we've run out of time yet again, it's gone too fast. But please, I'd like to say thank you very much to Sarah, Phil and Fred. Thanks for joining me, and please come back again and join us next time on the Great Unexplained Debate. See you soon. Bye-bye.